On March 26, 2024, a cargo container ship lost control of its positioning and collided with the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore, Maryland at about 1:28 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The collision caused the bridge to collapse into the cold waters of the Patapsco River. 8 construction workers were on the bridge when it collapsed. 2 were rescued and survived emergency intervention. As of March 28, 2024, the bodies of 2 of the construction workers have been recovered. They were found trapped in their pickup truck in about 25 feet of water. The remaining 4 have not yet been recovered. Seeing the Francis Scott Key Bridge crumble like a Lego structure reminded me of what used to be for me an intense fear of bridges. Fear of bridges combines a couple of fears: fear of heights, fear of the deep waters that oftentimes surround the bridge, and for some, a fear of tight spaces, claustrophobia. I can see that especially for bridges with reinforcements along the sides. The fear even has a name: Gephyrophobia. The idea of crossing a bridge sparks anxiety for a lot of people. I used to be one of those people. No matter how small or large the bridge, I used to imagine the worst. What happens if the bridge breaks and my car goes tunneling down into the deep cold water? What happens if my car skids and falls down the side? What happens if, and it goes on and on and on. So many scenarios that would walk through my brain as I approached the bridge. I would feel my palms begin to sweat and my chest begin to thumb for the entire ride through the bridge. One of the worst bridges I ever crossed was in Italy. It was about 150 feet off the ground. I got on the bridge and I stayed in the center lane. I wanted to minimize the possibility of my car skidding off the side somehow. I remember halfway through wondering if there was some way I could exit, and knowing that I couldn't, I considered parking to the side and waiting. But the thought of going over to where the water was, where the large drop was, terrified me even more. So I kept going. The only way out was through. Let me know in the comments if you've ever felt this way. So I drove slowly. In the middle lane, which must have been so annoying for all the other drivers as they sped past me left and right. But I got through it. And with each succeeding bridge, I became calmer and calmer and more confident. Interestingly, pretty recently, my mom shared with me that she's always been afraid of bridges. And it got me wondering, another possible intergenerational fear. I'll link at the end of this video a video in which I discuss why it is important to break intergenerational fears. Your fear is normal. Your body triggers fear when you're in a situation that is not familiar to it. Fear is the way your body tries to protect you. I'll put at the end a link to another video that shows you what happens in your body when you're afraid. But your fear should not rule your life. Your fear of bridges should not keep you looking for longer alternative routes to take to avoid the bridge. That's just robbing you of valuable time out of your life. The fact is that occurrences like the ones on the Francis Scott Bridge are extremely rare. Don't let the chance of something that is very unlikely to happen to you ruin how you live your life. So here are a few tips on how to overcome your fear of bridges. Number 1, be present. Bring your full attention into your body. Feel your palms on the steering wheel. Are you grasping too tight? Are your palms sweaty? Don't judge your responses. Just allow yourself to observe that they are there. And then give yourself permission to release the tension of your palms on the wheel. Bring your attention to your breath. If you feel your heartbeat racing, take deeper, slower breaths to slow yourself down. Feel your bum on your seat. You're grounded. You're safe. Number 2, keep your eyes on the traffic and on the road ahead. Give proper following distance between you and the car in front of you. Number 3, slow down. Do not try to speed through the bridge, and do not go too slowly either. Don't brake suddenly or be jerky. Drive at an even speed that allows you to feel in control while maintaining the speed laws. Do not be intimidated by the other cars speeding beside you, and do not stay in the fast lane if you will be driving slowly. Number 4, consider using a service if it is available. I understand that the Delaware River and Bay Authority offer a free service for people who do not want to drive over their bridge. The person can call their hotline and an officer will come and drive your car for you across the bridge. I think that's an absolutely great service. Put a comment down if your city has a similar service. And even if your city doesn't, feel free to call a taxi or a rideshare service like an Uber or Lyft if that's available, if it makes sense for your trip. And in either case of using a service, practice presence while you're in that vehicle. Use that opportunity to bring full attention to your body and your feelings as you're being driven across this bridge. Observe your driver, observe other drivers, observe the other cars on the road, and examine yourself. You can even use the opportunity to look at the water if there is water off the bridge, or look to the height. Whatever allows you to know that you are safe and that you are fine. Number 5, congratulate yourself for getting across the bridge safely. Going across bridges safely will only reinforce for you and your body that this is a safe act. This is something safe to do. And over time, your fear will dissipate. The more you drive through bridges safely, the more you realize that you do not have to be afraid. Eventually, the fear dissipates. I know you may not feel fearless now, but hang with me and we'll get there together.